Hello, everyone. Welcome to all of you for this Global Women Empowerment Sessions 2020. As part of this program, we have with us Shikka Aurora from Congo, Africa. She will be speaking about the healing with the divine. Friends, we all have this infinite healing potential within us to heal ourselves. So, by using this meditation and using the wonderful tools, we can just heal ourselves, my dear friends. The only reason why we are not able to heal ourselves is because of so many conditioned belief system. So trust yourself, trust the universe, trust that everything you can manifest anything in your life. Daily visualize yourself that you're completely getting bathed in this wonderful energy field, and your aura is getting purified, your aura is getting healed, and you're purified with this divine love, divine source, this infinite healing source energies. So this is a wonderful topic, Shikka. Thank you so much for choosing this wonderful topic. Friends, I'm Sri Lakshmi from UK. Under the guidance of our master, we are doing this triple one days of global goddess meditation circle with triple one feminine masters across the globe. We have successfully entered into day 78 of our program. So before starting of our session, let's meditate for 2 minutes by connecting with all the higher beings of love and light. So I request everyone to please close your eyes and start observing your normal and natural breath. Don't give any energy to your thoughts. Completely focus on your normal and natural breathing. Now, let's invite all the divine goddesses' energies, angels, archangels, and all the higher beings of love and light. Completely surround yourself with the divine healing energies flowing from all these divine beings. Let each and every cell, every part, every energy center in your body be completely filled with this love and compassionate energies. Now, let's send and radiate this love and compassionate energies to all the beings on this planet Earth. May all the living beings on this planet Earth live happy, healthy, and peaceful. Let each and every person on this planet Earth become a meditator and a vegetarian for the highest and the greatest good of all. So friends, now you can place both your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. And you can slowly open your eyes, my dear friends. So I'm so happy to introduce to you Shikka. She's from Congo, Africa. Shikka is a photographer and a freelance designer by profession. She's also practicing this wonderful healing modalities and soul retrieval for many years. Shikka has experience working as a mental health clinician in the US. She has worked with clients who have post-traumatic stress disorder and were victims of violence and rape. She has also worked with unprivileged senior citizens in old age homes. Now she's in DR Congo working as a school counselor and literature teacher. She aspires to pursue her PhD in the future and hopes to be an inspiration and role model to many children. Her dream is to create a more peaceful, loving world where children of the future can grow up safely, my dear friends. She's a wonderful master. She was born and brought up in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. She learned how to design and photography at the age of 12 and took up meditation around the age of 11. At 17, she went to the United States to pursue her education in marketing and media arts. And she also pursued her master's in psychology. And at the age of 18, again, she started her meditation and studied tarot. So she is now reading tarot card reading for over a decade. So we are so happy, Shikka, you're with us today. We welcome you.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. I really appreciate it. Today, I wanted to talk about healing with the divine, because we're going through so much right now in consciousness, and I felt that this would be really relatable, and hopefully I can assist you guys on your journey. So when I was thinking about the divine, I realized that many people call it many different names. Some call it God, some call it nature, some call it cosmos, some call it source, and many call it universe. And there are also many people who just refer to it as Mother Nature. This energy is extremely powerful and compassionate. And as we are progressing in our journeys, this benevolent energy is teaching us lessons on how to heal. So just brief introduction. My journey with the divine was very inspiring to my path. And it occurred basically around the age of 7. I was suffering from severe depression because, I don't know, for some reason at a very young age, I started looking around and seeing that people were unhappy, they were sick, they were stressed out, which led me to begin to ask questions. Like, seriously, I would just look at people and I'd say, why are you so unhappy? What is going on? Why don't you see there's so much beauty in this world? I started asking God, what is God? Why are we in so much pain? Why are we in so much pain? Why are people suffering? How can we stop suffering? These questions used to be on my mind all the time. And I would just talk to the divine, and I would just ask for protection.
Shikka, experiencing.
Because where I'm from, we dealt with so many political.
Hi, Shikka, we are experiencing some internet issues from your side. Could you please restart again? So friends, please bear with us. Yes.
Of the state of the world. I would just watch TV, adults would watch news, and then connecting to nature. I spent all my free time looking at flowers. What am I doing in this world? What am I doing in this dream? And how come the divine would send us here if we have to suffer? So these questions stayed in my mind all the time. And then my environment was not easy to cope with. I was extremely depressed, and my contemplation was assisting me to move forward. But however, I had to deal with, obviously, being a human being. You have responsibilities. You have to learn to live your life. And then at a very young age, we learn that, right? We watch our adults go to work, and then in my case, I had to go to school. So in the place I was in, we didn't have qualified teachers because of resources, or we didn't have, I wasn't in the best school because of our financial reasons. So I went to a small school. Over there, I started suffering because I was deeply depressed. I wanted something else from my life. I wanted to go out and play. Then I learned that you can't always go out and play. You have to go to school. So I started performing very poorly at school, very poorly. And every day I would talk to the divine and I would say, can you please help me? Can you please help me? Because when you're depressed as a child, you can't even get out of bed. It's really challenging. You can't even get ready. It's just not easy. And to be honest, now that I work with children, I see it, right? I see that that school is so important for the development of the child, right? And then in my case, my school it wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best either, right? Everyone was doing their best with the resources they had. And the place we were in here in Congo, it's just not easy, especially back in the 90s. So I would always dream one day I'm going to be happy. Can you imagine? Most people dream about being rich. Most people dream about having a careers and like going to places and doing certain things. My only dream full of, I felt like a failure because I couldn't do math, I couldn't read properly. There were so many students in class, the teacher didn't have time to do one-to-one. Even then, I was still struggling. I just didn't know what to do. Every day I would call myself, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I'm not good at anything. Every day I would look at my books and I would say, I can't even read this. I couldn't even look at numbers. I couldn't even read the clock. And this was like second grade. Can you imagine? And then every day teachers would just yell at me, why didn't you do your homework? Why aren't you doing anything? Why aren't you studying? What are you doing? And I would just be like, the kid that sits at the back, the very back row, sitting there looking blankly, staring at my desk, watching the walls, not understanding why I couldn't concentrate. So I had a mental illness, right? I was depressed, possibly even had developmental issues, but no one knows, right? Because we don't have the resources to be like, okay, go to the counselor. That didn't exist back then. So one day, at the age of 9, I just said, oh my God, it's going to take a miracle for me to perform well at school. It's literally because I had given up. I had given up completely. And I noticed that when you give up completely on everything, the divine comes in and says, oh, okay, I'm going to lend you a hand. I'm going to help you. So I had given up completely. And all of a sudden, when I asked for assistance and I said, I need a miracle, I really need a miracle because I'm not feeling good. I'm not in a good place. And I'm just a child, right? From such a young age, I was already thinking like this. Then all of a sudden, I had a teacher who was really concerned about me. She literally just came as a miracle worker. She sat me down and she said, okay, try to do math. I couldn't even look at numbers. When you look at paper and you can read it, the words would just fly out. Because of my depression, the words would just fly out. The numbers would just slip. I just couldn't see anything. And then she would sit down and she'd say, okay, come on, just try doing this simple math. And I said, oh my God, there is meaning to prayer. There is meaning to connecting with the divine. There is something. And she was watching out for me. And then all of a sudden, I started picking up books and I fell in love with literature. English had become so easy, but I still couldn't concentrate. I still couldn't study. I would just sit and say all day, I know how to study. I would affirm, I know how to study. But I had severe lack of confidence because of the competition, right? From a young age, children are already competing. And then I couldn't even go to my parents because they're working. They're working every day really hard so that I could have an education. But then like all of a sudden, I was stuttering and I had panic attacks. No one could talk to me. I would just start crying from stress. No one could say like, do this again. If anyone yelled at me, I would just start crying. So I had crying spells. And then the stuttering was intensified because I was dealing with bullying at school. And I didn't understand back then how to overcome this. But eventually, I learned that the divine was healing me. I didn't know how it was healing me, but you know what? The divine can't fix everything overnight, right? It takes steps. But however, this energy can really, really heal your life. You just have to give it a chance, right? So I started realizing that we are in a beautiful earth dream. We come here to experience Earth's beautiful creative force and the mysticism of it. We are all visitors and guests on her planet, seeking to feel and learn new things, right? But, you know, we are rarely taught from a very young age that we are the creators of our own dream, right? We are always helpless to school. We are helpless to our families. We never are taught that you can make your own dream. You can build your own world, and you have the power to manifest whatever reality you want in your life. And what was more important, remember, my dream was just to be happy. And literally, that was my goal as a child. I will do everything to be happy. I'll study really hard. I'll push myself. I'll do the best I can just to be happy. And we have to always remind ourselves, us as human beings, that we have the right to choose to be happy. No one is going to tell you that, like, because people usually automatically switch to negative emotions. They're complaining, they're upset, they hate their life, this and that. And then they seldom remember that they have the choice to be happy. Healing is absolutely crucial to our development. So what I started noticing is that most people feel that healing is a task, right? A lot of people go into spirituality to heal themselves, usually. And however, many people, the way they heal, it's like something that needs to get done. You go to the doctor, you take some medicine, and the issue is solved, right? As a society, I started noticing that we put Band-Aids on our infected wounds, feeling that this is the best way to conduct a healing. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because what I noticed is that we want to solve the issue right away. And when we are healing our souls, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to heal our souls. Then when our wounds get infected, so not really like our mental wounds, our emotional wounds get infected, right? We start believing that this was the way to heal, right? A lot of people in our world, if you're feeling low and depressed, oh, cheer up. So we often just throw statements, and seldomly we sit down and we say, okay, let's slowly heal ourselves. It takes time. One day we wake up sick, unable to function. And then we force ourselves to bury the issue within our souls. Millions of people, as I've been in this field for so long, I noticed that millions of people project their unhealed emotions and pain upon others. This is just tragic. It creates a cycle of tragedy. And this is what's happening right now in the world. I realize that we are all mirrors of each other. Our internal world is reflected upon our external world. But imagine an unhealed soul will continue to project his or her pain or suffering upon the external world. So it makes you wonder, how do you heal? How exactly do you heal these negative projections, right? Because every day you come in as a human being, and then you are a mirror, and you are projecting every single pain and suffering upon others without wanting to heal yourself. Why people don't want to heal, actually? That's also one thing I noticed, because it's painful, right? We don't want to look at our childhood issues because it's painful. We don't want to look at our emotional grief or deal with it or feel it. Many people don't even want to feel their pain because it's too painful, it's too hard. But that is the way to really heal our world. It is our duty as human beings to take responsibility for our pain, for our grief, for our wounds, our infected wounds that have a band-aid on it, right? Because we're just burying them within us. It is our responsibility. And this is the way we can create a more loving and more beautiful world. So what is the first step of healing with the divine? You know, a few weeks ago, when I was thinking about this topic, I said, oh my God, I don't even know. I don't have words to put this on paper. I don't even have words to explain this in. Because usually when we heal with the divine, it's quiet, it's not spoken of, and it's just a part of synchronicity. It's just beautiful, right? Of course, it's not easy, right? It's painful. But then I started thinking and wondering, what is actually the first step? I realized that the first step to healing with the divine is acceptance. Acceptance that yes, you are in pain, you have grief, or you are suffering. Most people put on a mask and say that everyone is suffering, so you should suffer as well. It's just part of projection, right? If you think about it, our families or our friends or people we know, they always talk about their sufferings, right? It's just been part of our society to talk about our sufferings. It's just been there since eons. That's just how we function. Most people, since we are mirrors, we should just be aware and accept that yes, I have grief, I am in pain, and it's okay. Most people don't accept. That is one thing I noticed while working. Most people put on this mask, right? Since we are mirrors, the thought of suffering gets reflected into reality. And then we keep believing, yes, everyone is suffering, and that is what we experience. Because we are concentrating our mind on the suffering, and it's just being projected into our reality. It's just like what we see. But if it's just part of the collective consciousness, that's just how we are programmed as a society. However, you as a creator, you have immense power in changing your reality. Immense. You are extremely powerful. You can change your mind in 10 seconds. Literally, I have tried that, and it's amazing. It's miraculous. It's just beautiful. Acceptance of this situation is not the only aspect that matters. You also need to accept who you are. Again, most people don't do that. Many people don't do that. They don't accept who they are, right? They live in a world dependent on their ego. And the ego creates different personas, different personalities within the mind. When the ego is unhealed, that's just what happens. But let me tell you something. Another thing I noticed is a lot of people want to fix other people, like their projects, right? You want to fix your family member, you want to fix your child. What you have to realize is that you are not responsible for other people's minds. What you have to do is heal your own mind. through acceptance. Acceptance that you're going through difficult challenges, acceptance that you need help, acceptance that you are in pain, right? Because when we start trying to make people our projects, this is honestly what I noticed, is it's just gonna fall apart. The person doesn't change, and in return, you fall more sick. You get more stressed out. So it is our duty to heal our own mind first, because when you heal your own mind, it gets reflected, right? Your energy gets reflected upon the other person, and then the other person starts shifting without realizing. We are all energetic beings, right? So imagine if we took responsibility for our mind, imagine how amazing this world would be, right? But this is part of healing, right? So to heal your own mind, how does it work? Again, I was thinking, how do you put this into words, right? I realized that it requires you to have a very good relationship with yourself. Being in counseling and working with people, I realize many people don't have good relationships with themselves. They hate themselves. They absolutely hate themselves. Their talk is negative, right? Because we are here and we are using our mind constantly, right? So I realize that people don't have good relationships with themselves at all. They don't like themselves. They don't even want to see themselves. They don't. Acceptance is something else, right? Of course, it's important, but having a good relationship with yourself is key, definitely key to your healing. How do you do that? Introspection, right? When we introspect and think and value ourselves and study ourselves, we open the door to healing, definitely. Most people use their mind to solve things, but many people have negative self-talk all day long. I can tell you, I was like that, where I would literally have the most negative talks in my head, calling myself all kinds of things. And this was being projected onto my reality, right? Because the energy was just being duplicated. And I didn't know what to do. I realized that our mind is like a computer. We have to continue programming it, right? So at the age of 11, I noticed that my self-talk was awful, horrible. I didn't like it. And I said it was giving me a migraine. It was causing me to be really sad. It was causing me to see the world in a really, really negative perspective. Then I said, I want to silence my mind completely. I decided to meditate. But back then, I didn't even know what meditation was. I just said, I don't want to think anymore. I don't want this migraine. I don't want this sadness. I'm just going to silence my mind completely. So I decided that I wanted to master my mind. So all of a sudden, by silencing my mind, my energy had shifted. My frequency had increased. My vibration had become more positive. All of a sudden, my stuttering had gone. I wasn't stuttering anymore. My grades had improved, and my relationship with the divine had strengthened. Because through silencing my mind, I could start hearing, feeling, sensing a divine energy that I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have done that if I had self-talk in my mind the whole day. So that is why it's really important to watch your mind, to listen to your mind. You know, when I was working as a clinician and I would talk to my clients who had severe anxiety, and then I would say, oh, how much do you think? And this person says, yeah, I think all day and all night. I don't know how to stop thinking. So overthinking causes you to have an increased amount of anxiety. So if you really want to heal anxiety, watch your thoughts in your mind. watch them, experience them, feel them, see what you're thinking. So then I decided to do like a little exercise with my client. I said, why don't you write down all your thoughts on paper? So my client said, why would I want to write down all my thoughts on paper? That is insanity. That is insanity, right? Writing down all your thoughts on paper when you're overthinking, when you're malfunctioning, is insanity. It's true. But can you imagine you can hold a sheet of paper and be like, this is your mind? I always tell people, your mind, imagine if it was not private, if it was just public property. Do you know many people would be more aware of the thoughts that they put out, right? Because the thoughts that you put out into the atmosphere, they just stay there as energy. They just stay there as energy, and then they multiply. So imagine if someone's really negative for no reason, right? I hate myself, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, saying things like that. Everything I'm doing is really a waste of time. Just like things like that. Negative talk all day long. Imagine that talk is in the atmosphere. It leaves your mind and it goes to the atmosphere. Oh my goodness, I feel it would be like air traffic, right? Just insanity. But we are energetic beings, right? So you must be asking, how on earth do you heal this, right? Of course, the first step is acceptance. Accept, I am anxious, I am stressed out, I don't know what to do, I am overthinking. You need to accept that. You cannot heal unless you accept that, right? And then learning to introspect, becoming more aware, having self-awareness, right, is an important role to healing. So now you must be asking, what is the role of meditation in terms of healing with the divine? Meditation gives you direct access to the divinity within you and the universe. Through meditation, your world is silenced. Our world is silenced. We begin to experience internal shifts, which get reflected in our world, right? But most people, I've met so many people that say meditation is a waste of time. It's just dumb. There's no benefit to it, right? But then you tell them, like, why is the world preaching meditation? Why has it been practiced for so long? I realized that the divine gets closer to us through silence, right? And it is through silence that you can have the opportunity to receive the answers you've been looking for so long. Meditation, in my opinion, is not a secret. It is a lifestyle, a decision, a way of being. It is an outlook. But let me tell you one thing I realized. You cannot force meditation upon anyone, especially when you are healing. You cannot be like, oh, I discovered this new thing, you definitely need to meditate. Meditation comes to you as a soul calling, right? It's not something that, oh, this person is meditating, so let me try to meditate. Oh, it's fine if you are inspired by that person. But I've noticed that a lot of places, they force people to meditate. And then I felt that if it's done as a form of peer pressure, you won't find the pearl within your soul, right? It will just be a painful process, because a lot of people in spirituality, they're like, okay, I need to meditate this certain amount of hours. Like, they have goals with meditation, right? But then when you make it as something that you force to happen, it it's almost like this. If you quiet you can hear information, you can receive answers, and introspection is easier, is continuous, it's a forever thing. Meditation is not something that is unreachable or that requires a goal. If people are like, I don't know how to meditate, it's to me, doesn't require you to drop your whole life and become a super meditator, right? So don't fall in that peer pressure. It's okay to take it easy. When I used to work with clients in mental health, I would always say, start with like 1 minute. I don't know why. I would just say, start with 1 minute of watching your breath. 1 minute, just do 60 seconds. And then my clients would look at me and be like, did you really just tell us to meditate for 1 minute? And I said, well, this is how you learn. This is how you build a discipline. This is how you feel more connected. If you like it for 1 minute, then you do it for 2 minutes, right? Many people jumpstart and they're like, I'm going to meditate for 30 minutes. I'm going to meditate for 60 minutes. And then for 30 minutes, they're stressed out. I need to meditate. I need to meditate. I'm thinking too much. I'm thinking too much. And they're not able to enjoy the fruits of it, right? They're not able to enjoy and appreciate meditation. So, like I said, healing with the divine doesn't require you to right away become super meditator, right? You don't have to go to a remote place like Himalaya or Bhutan or like, I don't know, wherever, Burma, you know, like you don't have to drop your whole life and move to a remote place. No, but you can ask for assistance, right? Many people forget that there's this divine force, right? And for some reason, when I was working with a healer, she told me the divine cannot come into your life unless you ask for assistance. So that is something that I learned also. Ask for assistance. Always ask for assistance. Many times we are so troubled by our lives and we just feel overwhelmed by our emotions. And we give up, we're tired, we're exhausted. To be honest, this is completely normal. It's okay. Not everyone can silence their mind right away. Instead, this is something that I found was really useful, is to pay attention to the present, right? There is a reason why it's called a gift, right? Present is a gift. But, you know, even that is really hard for many people, because when they are living in the world, they are just connected, but they are not there, right? They are just in their mind. They're using their mind, right? They're thinking about tomorrow, or they're thinking about next year, their future trip in or their past trip in. So it's so important to pay attention to the present. This is the third step that I wanted to talk about. You need to become mindful of your life as an observer. We come here to this beautiful dream, guys, really beautiful dream. And most of us, we are just not paying attention to the present because we are stuck in our heads, right? So it's really important to be an observer. I started learning to be an observer at a very young age, and this is called mindfulness. Mindfulness is extremely important in healing you. If you cannot meditate, if you're not able to, you know, just sit silently, then just be mindful. Watch how everything is going in life. Watch how the wind blows the leaves away. Watch how the birds fly and chirp. Just watch nature, just watch the world. You'll see there's so much beauty in it, because we need to understand that we're using our mind to create the future. Yes, we're doing great, but we need to understand that the future is not yet there. and we are co-creating our lives together in this very moment. Many of us are so caught up that we miss the beauty of creation, right? That's unraveling in front of us. We start to think, then overthink, then we think some more, then we become exhausted from the negativity. If we could just pause and just watch and just see how blessed we are. Life is definitely a gift that keeps on giving. So, dear friends, the divine is always around you and within you, waiting for you to ask for assistance. And it is through your silence that the divine can connect with you. Another aspect that I found really interesting is the acceptance of our shadow selves, right? What is a shadow self? It's just parts of ourselves that we have repressed, denied, disassociated, and disowned. But you need to understand, where there is light, there is also darkness, right? And while healing, your shadow self will always come forward. These are unhealed emotions and memories. Many of us right away get triggered by this, and we immediately repress our emotions. And this causes a lot of pain in our soul body. I remember when I used to work with trauma patients, much of their trauma was kept within their mind, right? So it's not easy to heal trauma. So what would happen is I started noticing every time when it was time to heal, the divine would just come forward and heal me. And I would feel so
Friends, as we are experiencing some internet issues from Shikka, as in African countries, she said that they'll be having low internet. So let's start doing meditation, my dear friends, for 10 to 15 minutes. I'll be playing the music. So I request everyone to please close your eyes and start doing meditation, start observing your breath. So, everyone, please close your eyes. Sit in a comfortable posture and start observing your normal and natural breath. Meditation is all about calming your mind, my dear friends. Just observe your normal and natural breath, my dear friends. Meditation is all about making your mind calm, peaceful, empty, and tranquil Just be with your breath. Immerse yourself in this great divine healing energies. Don't give any energy to your thoughts, my dear friends. Be here and now. Let's utilize this beautiful group meditation with this relaxing, soothing music. Last 5 minutes, my dear friends. Do not open your eyes. Keep observing your normal and natural breath. Be an observer of your thoughts, of your emotions, of your beliefs. Just observe them without any judgment. what a great bliss, what a great joy to do this wonderful meditation, my dear friends. Few more minutes. Do not open your eyes. Completely immerse yourself in this relaxing, soothing music.
Hi everyone! Sorry again. I had internet issues, Congo, not easy. But I just want to wrap up today, and I just wanted to say that the divine is really intelligent, right? One cannot heal unless it is in divine order. In order to heal, the divine will bring forth our shadow selves, right? Through memories being played in the mind. Someone can see these memories during meditation or a sudden flashback, right? So I truly believe that the divine has the power to pull out the band-aid on an infected wound, right? Our painful memories, our grief. This cosmic healing is so powerful. It has the energy to just shift your life completely. If you think about it, most of us are programmed from a young age to repress our pain. We are taught it is weak to cry, it is loser-like to feel sadness, and you have to be strong. We are told to stop crying if someone has hurt us. We don't even allow ourselves to feel pain because we have to deal with day-to-day life. Honestly, there is nothing wrong about this. When you are experiencing these things, there's absolutely nothing wrong about this. It's just part of being human. But however, we just have to become more self-aware and take self-healing as a priority. From my realization, I realized that all the tragedies that have occurred to you in the divine's eyes, it doesn't mean that your life is awful. It doesn't mean that you are going nowhere, you're not good at anything, this and that. Instead, it means that you are immensely resilient. The divine wants everyone to accept and appreciate their strengths and to forgive their weakness. So I just really honestly wanted to thank everyone for listening. And during my prayers today, my meditation today, I kept seeing the image of Durga Ma Durga on her lion, and she was just smiling. She was just smiling. And then that made me realize that she's reminding us every day that we are victorious, especially in a time like this with what we're going through as a whole. We are victorious. We're walking strongly forward, and we are in gratitude. Remember to always be in gratitude, especially for the journey you're on, especially. So this is the beauty of healing with the divine. And I just wanted to thank Mrs. Sri Lakshmi for this opportunity, and everyone for listening to me and taking the time today, this morning, to, just listen to me and just be part of this experience. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shikha, for this wonderful, amazing session. You beautifully shared so many things, so many insights with all of us, like how to healing with the divine. Like acceptance is the first step to heal ourselves, and we have to accept the situations, accept like who we are. So we should let go the ego. Truly said, we need to let go the ego, which creates many personalities in us. So instead of fixing others, we need to fix ourselves. Beautiful points you have mentioned today. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful to you for
Thank
this
you so
wonderful
much.
topic. Yes.
Thank you so
And
much.
also beautifully shared about the nature of the thoughts, like how our thoughts go into the atmosphere and how it stays as the energy there. And so beautifully explained about this, the nature of the thoughts. Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, and we have received a couple of comments from Varsha. Welcome, Shika. From Sahil, very nice, Shika ji. And wonderful wisdom flowing, relating to real life. Heal your own mind with acceptance. Wow, super to shift our reality. Please explain the process of getting assistance from divine.
Okay. Yes. It's honestly, it's not complicated, guys. It's not at all complicated. We ourselves, we make it complicated, right? We're like, okay, if I pray this much, if I meditate this much, then I will get help. It's actually very simple. All you have to say is, hello, divine, whoever you believe in, whichever God, goddess, whichever being, supernatural being you believe in, just say, please, I would really like to have some assistance. Just asking politely and then ending it with gratitude. Thank you for assisting me in advance. It's just that simple. And then you'll start seeing the shift. You'll start noticing little things that have changed. And that's just the beauty of it. We just overcomplicate things as human beings.
Yes, and what you said is true, because we need to, whenever we are unable to let go the things, we can take the assistance of the divine. It truly
Yes.
worked in my life. So when things are like when I can't change, when I can't fix my thing, I just surrender to the divine, and magically the things start opening up in my life. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. So yes, thank you so much, Shika. Once again, we are so happy. Like we, the Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement have touched this Central Africa also through you. Thank you so
Oh,
much once again.
so
Thank you
sweet.
so much.
Thank you. So sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you so much
Yes,
for this
yes.
opportunity.
Thank you, friends, for utilizing this session. Hope you have enjoyed today's session. Let's connect with one more master tomorrow. Until then, signing off. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Yes.
Bye.